Hey everybody, it's me, JJ, Accept 1987, and yeah, I know it's been, I don't know, like almost almost 5 months since the last time I recorded a video. Anyway, I'm back. Anyway, so yeah, sorry about the big gap here. It's a lot of personal stuff going on. Yeah, as for the book, yeah, I'm still writing it, just having little bits of writer's block, basically. I'm at page 10 right now, so just to give you a status update. Um, so now that we got that out of the way. Oh, and by the way, I just celebrated 10 years with my lovely lady. Love her to death. Can't wait to see her on Tuesday, which will be the first time in, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks. Yeah, I know. Part of the reason actually is because that we have a very big problem with the pandemic at the moment, and I'm really leery about getting together with her, especially under these circumstances, basically. With that being said, I'll get into today's video, or the topic for today's video. As I'm sure you guys have seen earlier, the Republicans in the Senate voted to acquit Trump for the second time. Don't be so surprised about this. It's nothing to be all that surprised over. Now, the reason that it's not something to be so surprised over is that Donald Trump still has a pretty strong hold on the Republican Party's operating operating apparatus, the RNC, and he has a very strong hold on the base. He still has about an 80% support rate in the among base Republicans. And as I think you've seen, Republicans, when it comes to their base, are complete and utter cowards. They can barely do anything. Anyway, so there's that. Now, don't take this as the end all be all, though. We still have a few others. We still have a few other tricks up our sleeve that we can use. There's the 14th Amendment, Section 3. That's going to be used most likely by the Democrats. And that could potentially prevent Trump from running for office again in 2024. So, like I said, there's more than one way of nailing this bird potentially with a stone. Anyway, so yeah, you're gonna. Yeah, I know the internet earlier had an uproar about it. I'm not that outraged about it. I mean, yeah, it's not. Yeah, I'm not happy about it, but in the grand scheme of things, there's another tool that they have up their sleeve here, and they're going to play it. Not a matter of if, it is literally a matter of how and when. But they're going to do it. They'll most likely, like I said, they'll most likely use the 14th Amendment, section number 3, which says anybody who incites insurrection against the federal government of the United States, or any of the states for that matter, they are barred from holding political office either in Congress, potentially the presidency, or any appointed position that is within the federal government, as well as they can't go into any kind of elective or appointed office at the state or local level either. Yeah, basically the public position. That is the key. 14th Amendment, Section 3. Remember that. So, but as for what this also, but is that another thing you got to keep in mind here. The Democrats, although it may not look it, now they may look as loyal, they're as ineffective as usual, basically. That's one way of putting it, but you also have to think of it in a slightly different way. The reason why I'm saying think of it in a slightly different way is that look at what just happened between the Republicans in the Senate and their party's base. Granted, it was a minority of them that went against the base, but the fact is that vote is on record, and that vote is going to spell a lot of headaches for the Republican senators going forward and for the Republican representatives going forward. Because now, if they're going to try to do anything to obstruct, to basically please this, batshit base they have. Now, one thing to keep in mind here. 90 to 95% of base Republicans are not batshit. 90 to 95% of them are normal people just like us. Yeah, they think differently from us, but for the most part, all of them are not that extreme. When I'm talking about the batshit ones, I'm talking about that really vocal minority, that 5 to 10% of them that are the most vocal. Yeah, those ones, a lot of times, they're pretty batshit. So, but yeah, anyway, it's that little tiny minority that's still going to cause the party a lot of headaches, basically. And the Democrats, to their credit, actually exploited that. So you got to see something. These Democrats, they're made out to be. A lot of them are actually pretty smart. So what does this mean going forward for them? Well, if they're going to try to oppose something, here's the thing. A lot of the Republican base actually supports the program that Joe Biden is going to try to put in place. They won't tell you this, at least not to your face. But I can assure you, approximately 70% of them actually like the program that Biden's trying to put in place. I mean, not specifically the whole thing, with the climate change and whatnot, but the whole relief package, basically, giving them like $1,400 checks, basically. Again, I don't think that's big enough, but what can you do? Joe Manchin in the Senate, he's going to be swaying things a little bit. Good news is we're not getting a skinny $600 billion bill. That is an insult to our intelligence. That is way too small. Let me put it this way. What is $600 going to do for you? Squat. Joe Biden knows this. The Democrats in Congress know this. And the Republicans, especially the base Republicans, they know this. Base Democrats, they know this. Independents, they know this. But not that vocal minority within the Republican Party. They don't get it. And certainly the Republicans and their donors, and I'm talking about the ones that are in political office right now, or for the most part, they don't get it. You could take the same money that you used for all those tax breaks 4 years ago, or about 4 years ago, more like 3 years ago, actually. You could use that same money to invest in the middle class. You can get this same economy skyrocketing. But you know how everybody is with their own priorities. So it's not really a whole lot that we could do. Now, what about the... So what are we going to do, with the Biden administration going forward? Well, here's what we got to do. We got to keep hounding them because we cannot let them get back to business as usual. No one's happy about this, but the thing is that if we go back to business as usual, we're going to get another Trump-like president. Now, thankfully, Biden does understand this. But a lot of the people around him, that's a different story. That is a very, very different story. Some of them are actually pretty good. But others of them are like near attendant for OMB. Oh, I got to tell you this. Republican senators, they're grilling her. One of them, I think it was either Tuberville from Alabama or I don't know. I don't remember which one it was. But they came out. They said, well, about about some stupid tweet that she made about Bernie Sanders, last year, or some snide tweet. Either from last year's campaign or from 2016. I don't remember which year it was. Anyway, the point I'm making though is that the Republicans got her right on the record. And mind you, this is a Republican defending Bernie Sanders. The crazy Bernie, as they like to call him. And they're hitting her for it. What does Bernie Sanders do? He kind of laughs it off. He's like, I appreciate it, guys. This isn't about me. We should look. I have my own reservations about having her in there, but let's stick to policy, guys. There you go. But yeah, when I heard about that, I could not quit smiling about that. And sort of laughing to myself, because for me, that's kind of like poetic justice in a way. Because it is poetic justice. Anyway, now she's saying she regrets doing it, blah, blah, blah. Here's what I'm going to tell you, cry me a river over it, but the fact is she's on the record. That's all that counts. So what are we going to try to do about some of the people that have gone into the insurrection? Well, a lot of them are going to get prosecuted. Oh yeah, that also brings me back to Trump. I know, sorry, I'm kind of jumping around here, but you'll see him at the Madison in a minute. The reason why I'm saying Trump is because Trump is also included among all the people that have been getting charged for the insurrection. He he could potentially also be facing criminal charges for that too. Because that he could be charged. I mean, yeah, he could be potentially charged for that. He could probably a little bit easier to prove, or conspiracy to commit sedition, where you have a little more latitude in terms of intent. But I know some of the states are going to do it. This one of the states that is actually looking into it right now is Georgia for potential election fraud. Yeah, Georgia. So they're going to look at it for that. You got the financial investigations going up with the Trump organization up in New York State. There's a couple of other issues that are popping up for him in Florida. Well, the main issue that is popping up for him primarily in Florida is the whole deal with Mar-a-Lago. So we have that going on. Plus, other states have other ideas for God knows what, basically. But plus, he's facing a myriad of lawsuits, basically, ones that he can't have himself protected from presidency. He was only able to put it off because of the fact that he was president. So this does remain to be seen, but it's going to be pretty interesting going forward from here. Is the bottom line. And, well, good news is also Biden has canceled the border wall, thank God. He's once again killed Keystone XL and a lot of these other dirty fuel pipelines and such that could be potential environmental disasters, thank God. He hasn't been able to shut down a mining operation that's about to take place in Arizona. Federal judges, so yeah, you still got a few that you got to work around. There'll probably be an expansion of the judiciary come I don't know, either by the middle of the year or maybe even next year. And, by the way, vaccines have been ordered. And, again, I got to tell you, I've been really because of how badly bungled the rollout was. Again, I'm not blaming Biden for this. Because Biden was trying to make order out of the chaos, basically. The bungled response is actually that the blame for that actually falls on the Trump administration because they did not have a plan together. They didn't bother to. That's how incompetent they were. Their incompetence, as I think you've seen, has cost this nation almost 500,000 lives. That's so far more lives lost in this pandemic than we've lost in the entirety of World War II. We're almost at the point where we're facing this potential figures of what we saw in the Civil War. I think we're probably going to go higher. I think as the pandemic, it's going to begin to slow down somewhat, basically because of the funding by the Biden administration for the vaccines and bigger orders. They've ordered more vaccines. They've ordered at least another 200 million shots, or to be coming out, for another 200 million people, more or less. That's good, and they're saying that they plan to be done by the beginning of the summer, possibly the end of the summer. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. But here's what is going to end up happening. Because he's listening to the experts, the rate at which lives are going to be lost may potentially drop even more dramatically as the vaccine starts to get rolled out again and again and again. And it's going to get faster as it goes on. So potentially this pandemic could be over, like I said, by early summer. Or at least that's the plan for it. If we don't run into another smack thanks to Louis DeJoy, who's still Postmaster General, and it's going to be quite a while before we can basically remove him from there, or at least get him to resign. Once Louis DeJoy is out of there, and we get somebody else in there to basically make order out of chaos at the Postal Service, we'll be in even better shape. Here's the good news. The craziness is over. Or at least being directed from the White House. It's over. The good news is all the immigration stuff is getting turned around. Like I said, the border wall is done away with. A lot of the things that Trump did in terms of executive action, a lot of that is being undone right now, which is making things a heck of a lot easier. And think about this. How nice has it been over the past, I would say, maybe 3 weeks? Almost. It's been, I don't know, over a month since we heard a president throw out something that would gobble up everybody else's attention and would be leaving us on edge for what is he going to do next, what is he going to do next. Nothing. Been like that for 3 weeks. I mean, how refreshing is this? To not have to worry about the deluge of basically, okay, what is he going to give me this time? Okay, well, what does he plan? It's like, that's the better part about Biden, is then at least he and his team are being a lot more judicious when it comes to tweeting. And they're thinking it out. It's not like Trump. Trump would just blurt out anything. Trump had no filter. Biden, at least, he kind of does. But the good thing, though, is that we're not having to worry about what kind of bullshit his, Trump's tweets have been ginned up this time. So it's kind of really refreshing. It's really refreshing to see that, and makes it easier to actually concentrate on stuff. So anyway, yeah, that's the thing. Oh, and by the way, as I think you saw, I have the podcast link in the description. As I said, got like 9 recordings on there so far. And thanks to you guys, I've been able to get my message out. So, here's what I'm going to tell you. If you like what you hear on there, just like what you see on here, like and share, and definitely subscribe to it. It would be you guys on there, and I would definitely love to be there talking with you guys. I'll also try to see what I can do in terms of getting the channel up on Twitch, or getting some videos up on Twitch, actually. And after the end of next month, I'm not going to be able to post anything else on Periscope, but don't worry, I'll still be posting videos on Twitter, so you'll still see me there, and on Facebook. And I'll see what other places still allow that, basically, and I will continue to do that. But yeah, Facebook, Instagram, you'll see me on there. I'll try to make it more of a point to do it. And hopefully you guys won't have to look at me being so disheveled again, because anyway, that was one of the reasons why I wasn't doing a lot of videos last year, especially after the pandemic hit. I gotta tell you guys, my hair had grown to the point where it was basically getting in my eyes. I was not willing to shoot a video then, constantly trying to brush my hair out of the way, and so it was like, I'm like, screw it. I'm gonna get a haircut first before I start doing more videos. But now that my hair is not quite at my eyes, I can start doing a few more of them. Anyway, so we'll leave it at that. So yeah, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And go. And also, if you like what you see on here, you can help to support the channel by going to Patreon, going to my Patreon channel, which link is in the description, as well as on PayPal. Any donations you can make will be very highly appreciated, and it will help me give you guys even better content, and hopefully with that, I could probably get a better camera. I'm not saying I don't like using my webcam. No, I mean, having it is very useful, and having my phone's camera is really useful. But I'm just saying, though, that maybe to make it a little easier, so this way you guys can see me a little bit better. And yeah, I know, I got the light on in the background there, and I know that I've had it on here like since the whole video has been up, and it's been kind of obscuring my face a little bit. Again, I'm sorry. But that's what we're dealing with. So yeah, any help you can give me would be highly appreciated. And I can continue to make good content for you guys. Anyway, I will kill it here since I've been talking for about half an hour. I am JGSF 1987. I want to say thanks for stopping by, and I am out of here.